as well.
But I'm sure Coach Mooney doesn't mind that, him crashing the glass. And you see the pressure picking up, trying to make you uncomfortable. Once again, I don't want to repeat myself, because you have the energy, because you go so deep into your bench, he can pressure all day long.
Robert Davis, catch and shoot three. He rattles it home. And a whistle here as Davis has come alive. Now the third player into double figures for Old Dominion on 3 of 7 shooting from downtown.
Look, when you hit more than 3, as we see Beagle on the big foul. We're going to take a look here, Steve. This is his 4th 3. When you hit more than 3 in a game, the house is on fire. They usually say, get the women and children out. With this now, I told you he can get hot quickly. Get the aunts, the uncles, get everybody out the house. And somebody run him off the line. My goodness.
Meanwhile, Jonathan Beagle at the free throw line for Richmond. But Davis led the nation in three-point attempts last year with 348. Set a school record in makes with 116. This is a guy who is not shy about hoisting it up, and he's helped to keep Old Dominion close here as Beagle connects from the free throw line. And now Daughtry and David Thomas are back in for the Spiders.
Again, I'm going to say it again. You got Daughtry and Beagle in the game. Let's get down to the post and play a little bit traditional. You've been having success all night.
One possession game here, closing in on 9 minutes left to go. Davis again on a heater.
Look, forget what I said, Steve. Get the cousins, get the nieces, get everybody out the house. It's burning down. They're scrapping and saying, we want to have. Wall says, listen, you're not allowed in my house until you wipe your feet on the welcome mat, and you're still not welcome. And then the big time finish by Beagle lets the crowd know. This is the effort that Chris Mooney is talking about. They have to have this type of effort all day long, all season long, especially if they want to get into the NCAA tournament this year.
Jaden Daughtry slamming it home. He now leads the Spiders in scoring with 17 on the day. That match.
8-7 early on here. George Mason against Rhode Island from Eagle Bank Arena in Fairfax, Virginia. Courtside here in Fairfax. Jason App alongside the St. John standout in his day and in the NBA, Zendon Hamilton. All right, our whiteboard, what do these numbers signify?
Listen, last game, Mason had no turnovers, Jason. And then for Rhode Island last game, Rhode Island forced 24 turnovers.
So the question now, can Mason protect the basketball? They've already committed 1 turnover. Rhode Island didn't score on it, but Z, getting the defense set for the Patriots and finding the way for the Rams to get some easy points. The buckets they've scored, they've been able to get things done before Mason's really found a way to slow them from getting to the basket.
Yep, absolutely. And you got Jonah Hinton, Miles Corey. They have to be the guys that set the tone to getting out early. They got to crash. Everybody has to gang rebound, get it out to Jonah, get it out to Hinton, get it out to Corey, and sometimes Cochran. Get to the rim early before George Mason even sets up.
So you've got the best steal team in the league against a team that protects the basketball very well. And that no turnover game against LaSalle on Wednesday, just the 5th in Division I basketball since 2004. A major accomplishment as that goes off the foot there of Fat Hill, who's checked in for George Mason. We asked Tony Skinn, I said, Coach, did you know during the game that you would no turnovers? He goes, no clue. But credit to his team, everything had to come together. They trailed for the majority of that game, methodically came back. And Z, we asked Coach, that felt like a game that if you weren't a team already with double-digit wins, you don't find a way to win that game.
No, that's a serious win for them. And that just goes to credit from his coaching and the character guys and the big-time players that they have. Like you said, they can go 9, 10, 11, 12 deep, and you never know who's going to be the leading scorer of the game.
Now That was from halftime earlier here today. First half stats. Let's take a look at some of the numbers here. It's a 5-point lead for Fordham, 39-34. As we welcome you back inside the Riley Center, Mike Corey alongside Zendon Hamilton. What has been the difference so far here in this first half as the Rams lead it by 5?
Well, I'll tell you what, Fordham is speeding the game up, and they have 11 fast break points. But the real problem, Day Reeves is doing a terrific job scoring the basketball, right? But the real problem is Schulte and Whitborn are doing a job on Frank Mitchell. Just his size and length are trying to speed him up a little bit, make him into a passer, make him into a playmaker.
Mitchell also had to deal with those 2 fouls early in the first half that he picked up at the 12-minute mark. So he didn't really play at all from the 12-minute mark to the 4-minute mark of that first half.
Sometimes when you're a big-time scorer, big-time rebounder, you're taken out of your rhythm, right? Like they have, and he's been on the bench for most of the first half. It's tough to get started up. It's tough to get started your engine again and get back in the routine.
Can Fordham keep it going? They have been outscored by 18 points in the second half of their 3 Atlantic 10 games so far this season, and outscored by an average of 6 points a game. And with those first half numbers, we saw Schulte with 11 and Reeves with 11, and Jacobs has 9. We'll see if they can keep it going here. It's St. Bonaventure ball to start the second half, and they miss on a 3 by Charles.
And to be honest, I don't like that coming out of the timeout, coming out of the half. Get the ball going to the rim. Doesn't have to go to Mitchell right away, but something being aggressive, getting to the rim.
Quick early shot there, to your point. I agree with you. 39-34 here, Fordham. The outside shooting, by the way, 6 of 13 in that first half. St. Bonaventure 6 of 16 from 3-point range. Schulte, 3 to shoot. Kareem Hook, not there.
Kareem Hook. Okay, Schulte. All right. Do what works for you.
Valiant effort, but it's Davidson possession.
This is what coaches want. Look at the hustle. Big Frank, Charles, everybody else. Frank getting on the floor. Charles tipping out of bounds. It just went out of bounds, but you'll invite the hustle all game long.
Here's Koval. Davidson. Out to the wing. Sam Brown relocates. Pops up a 3. It is good.
See Sam Brown with the pump fake, Mike? Somebody else has to come. Somebody else has to rotate. It's going to be that type of game.
Sam Brown led this team last game. 60-52 right now. Davidson leading St. Bonaventure. How about Koval here today now for the Wildcats, starting to get involved as of late?
Mike, Koval has done a terrific job. This freshman has got Rookie of the Week twice so far, and he's played well all year long. Tonight, 11 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist. He's done the job on the road when his name has been called all year long and now.
So it's now Charles at the free throw line here with a double-double today, 15 and 10. There's only been 1 triple-double in the Atlantic 10 this season. And he's 5 assists away from that. Frank Mitchell's got 16 points and 12 rebounds for St. Bonaventure.
Mike, this young man has just worked his way into the starting lineup. When we were here before, he was coming off the bench. Now, look at his numbers. 15 points, 10 rebounds, 6 assists. You can't say enough about a guy like this you want in your program, and you want having a winning program. You need a guy like this in your program. He's vocal. He's all over the place. He has energy. Can't say enough about him.
Oh,
he's leaving his heart out here for the team.
He is. He's got 17 now.
Hey there, Lisa. We are excited to get things going for the second half. We saw a lot of excitement and action in the first half. St. Bonaventure with an 8-point lead, getting ready for the final 20 minutes of play. But it was a lead that was a whole lot bigger until that final minute or two. What did Mason do to maybe provide a spark?
Well, look, I'll tell you what they've done. They're getting the ball in the guys that need to be their hands. Corey Mason, Mincy, excuse me, and those type of guys. And they're doing things on the defensive end, particularly on the perimeter, getting out in transition, finishing buckets, getting into their guy, Mr. Mincy, and he's making big-time plays on the road, which he needs to do. Then guys are having unforced turnovers for St. Bonaventure, and George Mason is capitalizing with the big finish. That can turn things for them coming into the second half.
George Mason scored 5 points in the final 3 seconds. 0 from long range. It's the third time in conference play George Mason hasn't made a three-point basket in a half, and it's the 5th time in league action George Mason has trailed at halftime. They won the previous 4 occasions, and they're going to have to rely on these numbers. They step up in the second half, locking down opponents, shooting the ball well, outscoring them by more than 8 points. And for St. Bonaventure, the first time in A10 action they've had the lead at halftime. They've been in the mix in 5 of the 8 previous league games. Right. St. Bonaventure had the lead around the 8-minute mark. 2 of them turned into victory. The question is, does the momentum continue that George Mason found in that last 90 seconds?
Tell you what, we've seen Tony Skinner coming out, and he didn't look like he was happy. He looked like he let his boys have it at halftime. So let's see them come out with a sense of urgency.
Picking up right where they left off. So that is a 8-0 run over the course of about 45 seconds of actual playing time. Yeah. And lo and behold, as Jahari Long made that one, it's a 5-point game, Zendon.
Steve, no contest. And that's a big thing with me. The game today is about space and three-point shooting.
Bowen to Mitchell with the easy finish. That is the best playmaking combo in the Atlantic 10. Bowen to Mitchell.
Big time finish.
Mitchell now with 10. Bear in mind he had 8 in the previous 2 games combined. Long again off the mark. Mitchell with the rebound. Bonaventure looking to run, and Mitchell hoping to finish, and he does.
Once he seals it, gets to the body, it's over.
Quick response by the Bonnies with a couple of buckets there. Stopping an 8-0 run by George Mason. Foul on the floor before the shot got off.
Lucky. You got Big Frank going to work. You see the pocket pass here to the finish. And then again, right after that, he seals his man, gets to the body, and finishes over the left shoulder. There's no way you can get around him. He's just so big and strong, Steve. He's a load down there.
Foul on Daniel Abanaway, his 3rd. He heads to the bench. Grahovic back in for St. Bonaventure. Nearly a backcourt violation. Mincy had about 3 inches to spare.
I think tells me it's going to come down to the Mincy-Frank Mitchell show in the waiting moments.
Shot clock at 5. Long has it. Needs to make something happen. He will off the glass. Too strong. Second chance opportunity for the Patriots. Big time rebound by Nick Ellington. He'll head to the line to shoot 2.
Coming out of halftime, George Mason already has 24 points in the paint. This you can't allow. Not at home, Steve. Guys getting into the paint and sealing the painted area in your own home, in your own school. That's one of my big things. You take care of the painted area first before anything else. That's house.
Ellington, the 6'7" grad student from St. Louis, Missouri, played at Murray State. Described by Tony Skinn as the ultimate competitor, says has a really big upside. And the foul sending him to the line was on Frank Mitchell, his 2nd.
Look, he's scored 1,000 points already. So the lefty can get it done down there.
Makes 1 of 2.
Big time rebounder, big time scorer.
43-35, nearly 2 minutes into the second half. The Bonnies with the lead and possession. Simmons to Mitchell. Front iron, no good. Mincy with the rebound.
Terrific pass.
Open. Mincy tried to deliver it to Sifka, who couldn't convert from long range.
Terrific pass by Mincy.
Bowen Pull-up jumper, got it.
Tell you what, Bowens played well today.
And oh, by the way, he's played the entire game, as has Buddy Simmons.
See how that turns out later.
Mitchell, great anticipation. Bonnie's looking to run. Deflected multiple times. Last touch off of Stash Sivka from George Mason.
I will say this. Not only is Frank Mitchell playing on the offensive end, he's really doing the job defensively today. As you see him get the poke out, he's doing a job down there. He's one of the only ones down there that's fighting for the St. Bonaventure group.
Bonnies have dictated a lot of the action off the defensive end. Charles cut off, looks to go down low, gets it to Mitchell, off the glass with the left hand, and it goes.
Like he's starting to come alive at home.
14 for Mitchell to go with 4 rebounds and 3 steals. And the lead back up to a dozen. Mincy trying to go by Grahovic, not there. Hill, a lot of contact. Somehow the prayer is answered.
Points in the paint, Steve. Don't want that at home or anywhere else. That spells trouble.
Mismatch here. Bowen trying to go by Sivka. He does, can't convert. Mincy, left wing, 3, got it.
Mincy starting to get started.
Hanging around,
just
aren't they?
hanging around.
They're 19-2, but they have met a formidable foe in St. Bonaventure today.
You're always a little bit more formidable when you're at home.
Grahovic, left wing, thought about baseline. Go, an extra little look to Charles. A wonderful pass by Grahovic to Charles.
Pass.
Who gets it to go. How about that extra look? The back and forth battle continues from the Riley Center. The Bonnies up 9 in the second half. Nine-point lead for St. Bonaventure over George Mason. The Bonnies looking to win their 3rd conference game in the last 4 they have played. They have had the answer every time George Mason has run, and the answer has come in the form of Frank Mitchell.
You know what, Steve? In the last 2 games, Frank has only had 8 points. He's taken a nap, right? He's left the house. But he said, let me reintroduce myself. It's Mitchell's the last name. I'm sealing, my motor's high, I'm going over the left shoulder, I'm going over the right shoulder, I'm playing defense, I'm all over the place today. I'm not playing games, and I'm back.
And we talked about not the lack of depth, but maybe the lack of bench minutes from St. Bonaventure. The starters are showing up today. They're accounting for 46 of the 49 points they've had to this part of the game, early second half. Charles converts on the three-pointer. The foul was on Jahari Long before the break, so the lead back to double digits once again.
Could be a foul. Fouls are starting to mount up for St. Bonaventure.
Charles.
Just a little bit of body by Charles. You know, he plays hard. He has a lot of energy. A little bit of body.
His second. How does Mason sustain more of a run, not just a game of spurts?
Well, they're doing a good job reversing the basketball, if you didn't notice. And it looks like that was a carry by Allen Spot, but they didn't catch it.
The fans wanted it. He misses it. It's going to be an over-the-back call on Stash Sivka.
Looks like he carried a little bit. Oh, yes, he did. But refs didn't see it, so he goes back to work. But even though St. Bonnie has got off to a great start. George Mason is hanging around and doing a good job of ball reversal whenever they're on offense. So they're taking pride in their possessions.
That was the first personal foul on Sivka. Simmons got it, left wing, pull-up jumper, good. Buddy Simmons can flat out score.
You said it before I did.
He's got 10, the lead's back to a dozen. Trying to use that mismatch long on Simmons, but he got some help. Shot clock at 10, Fat Hill has it, right side. Down low to Allensbach, knocked out of bounds. Last touch, Grahovic.
Not sure that spacing was right on that possession, but going back to Buddy Simmons, you can't guard me. I don't care how short you think I am. I get space and I get buckets.
Mason with possession, inbounding underneath, shot clock at 6, up top to Hill. And he takes it hard to the hole, and what a finish there by Fat Hill.
Terrific finish by Hill, and if he didn't, he would actually find somebody. He has terrific vision, leading the team in assists.
Mitchell to Grahovic with a little reverse finish. Oh, he looks like Bill Walton from the 70s.
And the crowd loves it.
Beside Troutman with an answer. 3-ball corner pocket.
Every time you think somebody has an edge, somebody comes back. Momentum switch in this game is terrific.
Worth another look.
My goodness. Joe said, I'm going up to the 11th floor and I'm dropping you off at the first. If you're not going up to the 11th floor, you better get out the way because you're going to be on SportsCenter tonight. Big Red.
The 6'10 sophomore from California, played at Fullerton College. This is a big move up, and they like the possibilities of what Joe could bring to this program.
If that's consistent with St. Bonaventure, things are going to change and change quickly.
Allensbach picked up the foul, didn't get another one there because Mitchell had position. Mitchell leading the way for both teams. He now has 16 right on his season average.
See, he's picked things up quickly. The A-10 beast is alive and well.
Mincy loses it, picked up by Bowen. Looking to run, numbers could be there for the Bonnies. Simmons right wing. Oh, this place would have erupted, but look at Mitchell with the offensive board. Second chance opportunity. Little ball fake by Charles, working it around. Grahovic to Mitchell, lays it up and lays it in.
We're seeing a new side of Grahovic tonight.
The lead back up to 13 for the Bonnies. Allensbach thought about the three, has it blocked by Grahovic, going down the lane, but stolen quickly back by Mincy. Oh, how about that left-handed poke, but it went.
Man, terrific nullifier by Mincy.
58-47, Bonnies by 11, 11:45 and counting here in the second half. Shot clock at 10. Bowen has it top of the key. Charles goes airborne and maybe caught a break off the foot of a George Mason Patriot. Timeout on the floor. We'll take one with them, but not before a little extra look from Grahovic to Mitchell. The big man finishes big time at the Riley Center. We're back at the Riley Center, Western New York. St. Bonaventure 58, George Mason 47. They have started from the very offset, and they're leaning Zendon on their starters, their big four, to get the job done, and they've delivered.
Oh, have they? Big Frank doing what he does. Caden Charles, the worker. Buddy Simmons, you can't guard me. And DeSante Bowen, just a terrific start. The captain. Now, usually, Steve, George Mason has 5 starters that average double digits. But in this case, since we're home, you see what the starters are doing for St. Bonaventure.
To this point, it has been probably as scripted in a perfect world by Mark Schmidt, but he knows what George Mason can do and has done a lot, especially in the second half. Mitchell, left-hand turnaround jumper. He is on a mission today, Zendon.
I can't emphasize it enough. Excuse me. Once he gets to your body, you got to get him off of your body and have a forearm in his back. Once he gets to your body, you can't do anything.
That is too easy of a finish for Jahari Long, but going back to Mitchell quickly, he has scored or assisted on the last 8 points for St. Bonaventure.
The motor is extremely high for Mitchell. He's all over the place. Look, he's setting screens, he's getting rebounds, he's playing defense.
And Bowen finds Abanaway in the corner, who connects from long range.
Best shooter on the team, you got to locate him. Unacceptable if I'm Tony Skinn.
Well, the jacket's off for Tony Skinn. He came out of the halftime break with it. Long range 3 by Long, ill-advised, doesn't go. And they're going to say Bowen out on the end line. Looked like he might have got on a little nudge.
Just a little bit. Yeah. First, you can't allow him to catch, right? And once he gets to your body, it sounds like a broken record for me. Got to get him off of your body. He's undersized. He's going to take advantage.
Mincy double team, gets it low in the blocks. Mitchell there as a defense. Long range 3 doesn't go for George Mason, but Allensbach tries to save it and unable to. Tim Kelly right there on the line, the head referee tonight.
I've been in these situations before a ton of times. The danger zone for George Mason right now.
How do they stem the tide? How can they do something on the road, hostile environment, to try to get back in it?
Change defenses. If you can, offensively, get downhill and get to the rim. When you get to the rim and get fouled, now you stop the clock, things start to go your way, you get the crowd out of it.
Good defense by Long, tries to force it to Allensbach, and yet another George Mason turnover. Quick moment to let you know you can watch your favorite WWE superstars square off in the ring on Friday Night SmackDown. Comes your way Fridays, 8 p.m. Eastern, only on USA Sports.
Talking about WWE, I was a Macho Man Randy Savage guy back in the day. WWF.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You set me up for that one, didn't you? All right, halfway through the final 20 minutes of action. Bonnie's with the ball and a 14-point lead. This is tied for the biggest advantage they have had so far, and they're shooting even better in the second half, nearly 80%. They've made 7 of their last 8. Shot clock at 8. Last touch off of Fat Hill, so the Bonnies will maintain possession.
If I know Tony Skinny's going to have his group attention to detail defensively now. You're going to see things pick up just a little bit. Like I said before, it's danger time for George Mason right now, especially on the road.
Bowen struggling to get it in.
See, Mark Schmidt doesn't like it, but as I said, they're picking up defensively now. They have to.
That was a tough spot on the floor to inbound it from Bowen.
Yes.
Right in front of their bench. So it was a 5-second call. Miscue by the Bonnies. Hasn't been the case for much of the evening.
George Mason trying to get back into the game. Get back to getting downhill, using your athleticism and length and size so you can stop the clock and get the crowd out of it.
Foul off the ball. Buddy Simmons, his second, team's fourth. And you take a look at the top 7 in the Atlantic 10. George Mason right there, 7-1, 19-2, the best start in the history of the program. And they are in big-time trouble here in New York. And a foul before that ball got in the corner. That's going to go on St. Bonaventure. And whistles seem to be picking up just a little bit more here in the
That's how
half.
it usually happens like that in the second half. Things slow down, whistle picks up, Steve.
Long range 3, Mincy forces it, doesn't go. Charles with the rebound.
To me, that's not a good look when you're down this much. You want to get the ball to the rim.
And some contact there. Abanaway hit the floor. Foul on the Patriots.
24 paint points. This is what kept them in the game. Get the ball, get downhill, get to the rim.
Yeah, the foul prior was on Caden Charles, his third for St. Bonaventure. That's just the fourth team foul now for George Mason going against Fat Hill. Jahari Long picks up a foul before Desante Bowen barely got that ball in his hand.
Like I said, defensively, they're picking up quickly now. Look how far they're pushing St. Bonnie's out on the perimeter. Long and athletic comes into play.
Bowen has it. Shot clock at 6. Abunaway looks to drive. He's cut off. Shot clock now at 3. He's going to be called for an offensive foul. Troutman was right there defensively, and you can see that arm get extended.
When you're down like this, the Patriot pressure, like Tony Skinn told us about, comes into play. See here on the replay, just a little bit of a push-off. Just a little bit.
That
but you
Patriot
need that.
Pressure, pressuring the ball, trying to make the opposing offense be uncomfortable. And another whistle, that is. Abunaway picked up his fourth personal a moment ago.
On the other side, you can't have unforced turnovers.
Yeah, now another one back on George Mason.
Yeah. Can't have unforced trying to get back in the game on the road.
Both teams now have 6 team fouls. You're going to be in the bonus the rest of the way. That was the third on Corey Mincy.
That's when the game really is going to start.
Oh, great look from Bowen. Even a better block by Conga as Andrew Osasui, we thought was going to finish strong, and he just bobbled it for a moment. He'll head to the line to shoot 2.
Yeah. You know what I call that, Steve? A conference foul. We're in conference play now. No layups allowed. Had an easy drop off there for the big, but you gotta earn it from the strike.
60% from the free throw line this year for Osasui, just a freshman from Italy, 6'9", and as Mark Schmidt said, still learning, still trying to figure out the American college game, but a big upside like many of them have.
Yes, he does.
Misses them both. The foul on Conga was his first personal. See if Mincy can provide a bit of a spark. Tries to get a down low to Conga, but knocked out of bounds by Osasui.
Osasui does a good job.
Scoreless the last 3 minutes.
Yep. Osasui does a good job getting in there, taking up some time until Mitchell gets back.
Mincy double team, gets it to Conga, who's triple team for the moment. Kine Roll gets the finish.
That's called size and athleticism. That's all that's called. Energy.
Leads down to 12, final 8 minutes and counting.
Everything going to the rim to get
Near
back
steal,
in this game.
It is a steal by Fat Hill, who finishes with authority. So it goes from 14 to 10 like that.
Just like that. Patriot pressure.
Bowen has it, right wing, shot clock at 15. Pull up, 16-footer's good. He runs into his teammate, seems to be in a spot of bother, and makes it.
Everything goes your way at home, just a little bit, right? The cooking is better. The bed you're sleeping is better. Everything works in your favor.
Mincy hits the deck, no call. In the corner, Long's 3, front iron, no good. Bowen with the rebound.
Big time box out by Frank. Look at him run.
He'll head to the line to shoot 2.
I love
Frank Mitchell doing it on both ends of the floor, as is St. Bonaventure. A 12-point lead, looking to maybe win for the 3rd time in league play this season. St. Bonaventure built a big lead early in the first half. They have maintained that advantage throughout. It's up to 12, 65-53. Due in large part to that man right there, the senior, 0-0, getting the job done on both ends of the floor.
Getting the job done is right. I want to take a look at 0-0 right here. Everybody who's watching this game. This is who Frank Mitchell needs to be. Look at the big-time box out. And then he's flying up the floor to get a basket. I don't care if you're sealing. I don't care if you're running up the floor. This is who Frank Mitchell needs to be if he wants to be successful at the professional level, wherever that is or wherever he might go. He's a really good player now, but to be a big time player, that's who he needs to be every trip down, every possession of this game, and going forward for his future, Steve.
Look at that stat line. 20 points, 5 rebounds, 3 steals, got a couple of assists, third time in conference play. He's gone 20-plus, and looking to add to that number, he'll shoot 2 from the line. The foul was on Fat Hill, his second personal.
I'll tell you what, if I didn't do that in college, and Fran would have kicked me out the gym. Coach Fran Fischello is who I'm talking about.
He loved you. Potential foul trouble. We talk about St. Bonaventure especially. They don't go very deep. As Mitchell makes 1 of 2, the rebound that is comes down to the Patriots and Jahari Long. All right, if you're George Mason, how do you start getting points a little quicker?
Again, ball reversal, getting downhill, get to the basket like Fat Hill just did. Just like Fat Hill just did.
He's had a lot of success down the lane.
Yes, he has this whole game. Use your length and athleticism to your advantage. And then you got guys coming up the bench who are the same way. So you got a ton of tools if you're Tony Skinn to use.
Mitchell has it, hands it off to Bowen. Shot clock at 8. Left wing, Simmons returns it to Bowen. Shot clock at 4. DeSante Bowen high off the glass, in and out, won't go. Rebounded by George Mason. Chance to get it to single digits. It's been a while since they could say that. Nice ball
when
fake.
You got
Corey
this man,
Mincy, pull-up jumper's good.
When you got that man, your chances are good. One of his favorite players, Kyrie Irving, pull-up jumper.
St. Bonaventure is 80% from the floor in the second half. You wonder why they're up 9. Credit the shooting. Bowen thought about it. Shot clock at 10. Tries to get it down low to Mitchell. Not there. Here's Charles. Shot clock now at 5. Forces it fouled. He'll go to the line.
Yep. And if you want to get back into the game, Steve, you got Fat Hill and everybody else getting downhill and getting to the basket. And then when you got a guy this skilled, you better send another defender.
Corey Mincy now with 16 for George Mason. The foul was on Fat Hill, his third. Charles unable to make the first of 2. Allensbach back into the game for George Mason.
Every time we think momentum is going one way, it goes the other. Shooting a terrific percentage from the floor. St. Bonaventure. You got Caden Charles. You got Frank Mitchell. That's just showing up.
1 of 2 for Charles. That trip from the line. Lead back up to 10. 5.5 remaining.
Something to keep telling. George Mason just hanging around.
Mincy, good look. Can't finish. Allensbach, though, a second chance opportunity. Strong against Grahovic. He's fouled, and he'll head to the line for 1 more. You're shaking your head. Why?
Allensbach is just that type of guy. I call him the Bill Laimbeer of George Mason, right? He shoots threes. He gets to the rim. He's a terrific passer. He's getting rebounds and bullies his way to the rim. Almost like Frank Mitchell. Almost.
The word Tony Skinn used to describe Riley Allensbach, toughness. It was one and done. That's all he had to say. He's like, personifies toughness. Grahovic, 3rd personal foul. Allensbach, 67% free throw shooter, trying to get the Patriots within 7, and he does.
Always need guys like that in your locker room and in your program. Those are winning guys, winning plays.
Another whistle on the floor. Looks like it's going to be on Fat Hill, and if so, it's his 4th personal, and that is the case. George Mason on a 7-1 run, and you can see it right here.
Yep, you got Fat Hill just holding. Can't hold with 2 hands when the ref is right there. Can't have 2 hands on it. But with all the tools that George Mason has, something tells me Tony Skinn doesn't mind it because he could just put somebody else in. When you take my wrench away, I'll give you the hammer. Take my hammer away, I'll give you the nail. Doesn't matter. They have so many talented and workable guys, character guys. They all want to play. They all can play. And he says to us earlier today, I got 11 starters, Steve.
It speaks to the chemistry this team has. He says it's a natural connectivity, and consider the fact George Mason, 9 transfers coming into the program. Bowen makes boat, lead back up to 9.
Every time George Mason brings out one of their weapons, St. Bonaventure has an answer.
Shot clock at 10. Sivka, 3-pointer.
Too
strong with that one.
Don't like it. Got to get to the rim. You've been doing a good job getting to the rim. 24 points at the half. Continue living in the paint.
The clock, now the ally, the friend for St. Bonaventure. Mitchell, skip pass, Grahovic, 3-ball. Doesn't go, rebounded by Long. Quickly into the front court, Fat Hill with a big finish, and they're gonna call goaltending on Grahovic. He was going up for the big finish.
Yep.
Joe Grahovic said, wait, not yet. Little smile, he's like, well, maybe it was.
Maybe. He's got a couple big blocks in this game. He's been playing well. Just got to it a little late.
Off the glass.
So we talked about George Mason trying to get back into the game. Get to the rim, get downhill, get to the foul line. On the other side, with St. Bonaventure, same thing. Take your time, play through Frank, get quality possessions, and the clock is your friend. No reason to rush.
Simmons has it near the logo. Shot clock at 10. Left wing cut off there. Shot clock now at 7. Simmons going high off the glass, well off the mark. Look at Charles, the effort trying to save it, but right into the hands of Allensbach.
Got to get back now.
Thought about it, doesn't hesitate, and converts. Malik Presley, 3-pointer. They're within 4.
Listen, we talked about the tools in the toolbox. That was the saw.
Malik Presley, to your point, they can come from different players. The 6'6" junior from Texas, he's a winner. He's unselfish, and he gets Mason close. That time that we all hope for in a game, it is clutch time. 69-65, George Mason continuing to claw back, trailing the Bonnies by just 4. And you might, what is clutch time? Final 5 minutes of the second half in overtime where the margin is 6 points or less. I probably couldn't have sold you on clutch time about 20 actual minutes ago, but credit to George Mason, Tony Skinn, and his team, and the best scorers in the A-10 in clutch time. We got a couple of them, one for each team. Corey Mincy for George Mason, Buddy Simmons for the Bonnies, and those were 2 guys we touched on at the top of the show.
Oh, my goodness. Clutch time is not made for everybody, and that's why it's called that. Now, coincidentally, George Mason started off this game, and you have 5 guys averaging double figures. Now they only have 2 guys with double figures, and St. Bonaventure has 4 guys with double figures. How things have changed.
This is the closest it has been margin. Since Mason last connected from long range.
That's why I think Tony Skinn has gone to the zone.
Down low to Mitchell, and he is fouled by Allensbach.
That might be a favorite one. Just because of the way Allensbach grabbed.
They're pleading for it is Mark Schmidt. the head coach of St. Bonaventure? Because that seemed like an immediate grab by Allensbach.
That's what I was talking about, the Bill Lambert part.
You find a way to get the job done. Can the Bonnies do it in the final 3:29? Stay with us to find out. Back in the Riley Center, 69-65. St. Bonaventure with a 4-point lead, 3:26 to go. Before we went to break, there was a common foul called on Riley Allensbach against Frank Mitchell.
Sure.
During the break, the officials went over to say, all right, could this possibly be a flagrant one? And that was the intent of Riley saying, you know what, I'm just going to jam you up. I'm going to wrap you up.
No question.
And a better view here, you know, is it excessive? Is it aggressive? Is it violent? Did he go for the ball?
In today's game, it's probably a flagrant one. When I was playing, it's nothing. It's a common foul. That's me trying to stop Shaq, saying I can't guard you. I got to give up a foul, and then saying sorry, man. Yeah. Don't hurt me.
But the officials did upgrade it to a flagrant one. So the foul on Allensbach, his third. Mitchell shoots two, and the Bonnies will get possession.
Things are starting to change in clutch time, just a little bit, Steve.
But now you got to take advantage. If you're Frank Mitchell, misses the first, makes the second, the lead up to 5.
Tell you another reason why George Mason has been able to hang around, because they're +7, +8 on the glass.
A big point of emphasis of Tony Skinn. We got to do a better job.
Got to do a better job on the glass.
Kick ball by Mincy. Bonnies maintain possession. Shot clock reset to 20.
Hey, listen, I don't hate Allensbach for it. He's been fighting all game with this guy, man. That's Walter Payton down there.
And keep in mind, Allensbach battling an upper body injury in the rib area that kept him out of the last game.
Absolutely.
There is Mitchell going right at Allensbach. Double
Terrific
team.
pass.
Free ball by Charles. Barely draws iron. Riley Allensbach with the rebound. All right, final 3 minutes. Patriots down 5 with the ball.
It's Jahari Long, Corey Mincy show.
There is Mincy. He'll head to the line to shoot 2.
Getting downhill, getting to the rim. You stop the clock, get the crowd out of it. Get yourself going as well as your team. See here, you just can't guard it. He doesn't even need a move for him to get by.
A foul you can live with, but not when it's the 5th personal on Daniel Abunawe. So he's out.
Yep.
And we'll keep circling back to the conversation of the Bonnies don't go much more than 8 deep.
That's tough. That's very tough because, like we talked about, all the tools in the toolbox of Mr. Tony Skinn. He can go to anything he wants. I'm with you.
Grahovic back into the game. He also, something to keep in mind foul-wise, has 3 personals. All right,
Tough. You need enough bodies.
Yeah, Mincy to the stripe. As good as any in the league. Clutch time scoring in the Atlantic 10. And that is a rare sight for the man that shoots 90% from the line.
Very rare. Pretty good to have the best shooting clutch time guy on your team at the line in clutch time.
1 of 2 for Mincy, now with 17. A big difference than is normally the case for George Mason. They're usually 8 better at the stripe than their opponent. They're -5 here against St. Bonaventure. Shot clock at 10. Mitchell with it, picks up the dribble, and is in some trouble. Nearly throws it away, and he does. Great hands by Mincy, quickly in the front court to Hill. Left wing to Long. He'll slow it up momentarily. Fat Hill down low in the blocks to Allensbach. Mincy,
Terrific
left
pass.
wing. Got it.
Terrific
Corey
pass.
Mincy. That was a big-time possession that showed patience, that got the Patriots within 1. They were down by as much as 14. Not any longer. 70-69, the advantage for St. Bonaventure, down to just a single point, 2 minutes, 7 seconds remaining in this one. And give a lot of credit to George Mason. They're doing the little things to hang around.
The ball entry and the relocation by Allen Stock, he impacts the game so many different ways. He's not just a scorer, terrific passer, relocation, and Mincy does the rest.
So in a game where St. Bonaventure has dictated the pace and the tempo and the tone, and now the lead is down to 1. I want to circle back to something I said at the beginning of the show. 5 of the 8 conference games now make it 6 of 9. St. Bonaventure had the lead in the back end of the second half, and they've only won 2 of them. So what do you lean into to say, you know what, we can actually finish it?
Got to lean into your guys, Frank Mitchell, Buddy Simmons, Caden Charles. The 3 amigos. Somebody has to show up tonight, especially at home.
Bonnies break the pressure with relative ease under the 2-minute mark and counting. Bowen with it up top. And they'll go right down the lane. A lot of contact, no call. Mitchell with the rebound, fouled on the way up.
Great offensive rebound by Mr. Mitchell. Steve, he's been active all game. Talking about the motor being high. All game he's been like this. Look, active all over the place. Offensively, defensively.
7 of 11 is Mitchell in clutch time, make it 7 of 12.
Just his activity all game long has been terrific. We talked about him reminding us of Gary Trent, the big-time player in the Blazers in the NBA, or Danye Abrams. This is who he has to be all game long for this team to be successful.
1 of 2 for Mitchell, 23 points on the evening for the senior from Toronto.
This is what I talked about, crowd getting into it now.
Hill looks to go baseline, double team, might be tied up, hits the floor, so does the ball. And the Bonnies come up with it. Grahovic trying to hit Mitchell. He saw him for a moment, and maybe an ill-advised look by Joe Grahovic.
I'm sure he wants that back.
Work.
Yeah. You do such a good job getting on the floor and then just overpass it a little bit.
Credit to Mitchell for running the floor as he has all day.
All day long.
But maybe Grahovic a year from now doesn't make that pass.
Absolutely. You went right where I was going. He doesn't. He holds on to it just a little bit. No, with young teams, emotions are high, logic is low. And you're just not thinking right when pressure times are around.
Patriots down 2 with the ball. What a look from Stash Sivka to a cutting Corey Mincy, and lo and behold, we're tied up at 71.
Mark Schmitz wants to talk it over. We're deadlocked.
We said it off the top. Corey Mincy can beat you in so many different ways.
Terrific different ways. You see him cutting off and goes back door. Terrific pick by Allen Spock, who we talked about can impact the game a lot of different ways. You don't see him in the middle there. Terrific pick, and he goes back door and does the rest.
And credit Stash Sivka, the 6'10 sophomore from Slovenia, with the look.
Yes.
Described by Tony Skinn as Mr. Reliable. He's program first. It's not about him. He said he's the heart and soul of the team. He maybe hasn't done a ton on the stat sheet today, but that pass might have tipped it in the favor of Mason down the stretch.
It doesn't hurt that you're 6'11", right? Dribble, pass, and shoot, 6'11". We've only known a couple of them that have been really successful. He's one of them.
Both teams shooting well. Both have made 5 3-pointers. The bench squarely in the favor of the Patriots, who are in search of their first lead of the night. Tied up at 71. St. Bonaventure with the ball, 1:10 remaining.
Charles Simmons with the basketball.
Down low to Mitchell. Nice up and under. Can't finish. Oh, they're going to call Allensbach on the foul. And maybe that's why he didn't finish.
Look at Frank in real time. Sealing, getting to the body. It's now you see me. Oh, now you don't. If you're Allensbach, Frank Mitchell's not the most athletic guy. Stay down. Wall up, Steve. Make him finish over the top. He wants to get to the body. He's just so physical down there. Sometimes you jump when you're not supposed to. And that's tough. He's done so many great things today. That being Mitchell, you got to finish your breakfast, is what we call it at the free throw line. You can't give up free throws.
6 of 11 from the stripe is Mitchell today. St. Bonaventure back up by 1, and the fans on their feet here at the Riley Center. Fat Hill, baseline, double team, kicks it to Corey Mincy, picks up the dribble. Long saves him, at least for the moment, nearly throws it away. Mincy with it, shot clock at 10, game clock at 40. Corey Mincy, long range 3, well off the mark. Fat Hill, rebound, up and in, and the first lead of the evening for George Mason.
Again, Mark Schmitz doesn't like it.
You touched on it. So many players on that George Mason bench can come in and do the pivotal things.
My goodness. You got Fat Hill. They call him Fat Hill because he was fat as a baby, but not on this play. It's who wants it more. Can't give up second chance points at home. And Fat Hill does the job for the rest. Tony Skinn has all types of different weapons in his arsenal. Fat Hill might, because it's so cold out, Steve, he might be the snow blower.
Well, Fat Hill's done all right. 16 points, second leading scorer for George Mason. Maybe a quiet night scoring for Johari Long. He's got 9 points, but a career high 9 assists. Reset everything. Mason with their first lead of the day, 73-72. The ball belongs to St. Bonaventure, about a 5-second difference. The game clock at 31, the shot clock at 26. If you're St. Bonaventure, what are you drawing up? And if you're Tony Skinn, what are you going to throw at him defensively?
Well, if you're St. Bonaventure, you're getting the ball to Frank Mitchell. Okay, him, Caden Charles, or Buddy, either one have to have the ball in their hand to complete a play offensively. Get to the rim, get something to Frank Mitchell in the post, let him work, right? If they come to double, either on the catch or on the dribble, he gets it to somebody else, that being Bowen or Charles, and they make a play.
If you're George Mason, do you expect that and maybe give a little support for Allensbach or whoever's down low?
Well, to me, if you're George Mason, you speed things up by a little bit of pressure right now. Why not? Throw a little bit of pressure so it takes some time to get into their play. But let's see.
Allensbach on the bench, Emmanuel Conga, maybe a little more athletic down low. All right, 31 seconds to go. St. Bonaventure down 1 and with the ball. Bowen down low to Mitchell, as you call, can't finish, but it'll head to the line once again.
Terrific ATO by Mark Schmidt. Terrific ducking by the big fella. The A10 beast, Mr. Frank Mitchell. Simple ghost screen is what we call it. Terrific pass, and he just carved space out down there.
Bowen to Mitchell is the best playmaking combo in the Atlantic 10, and they went right back to the well. And Mitchell will shoot 2.
If you're Tony Skinn, you're saying, even though he's a low down there, make him shoot free throws. 65%, not his best attribute. Tonight he's 50%. Got to get better than that.
The foul was on Conga, his second. Shot clock off, 21 seconds on the game clock, and Mitchell makes 1 of 2. Tied at 73 for what could be an exciting finish, and quickly does Johari Long go to the bench in front of it.
Sure.
Tony Skinn says, all right, we're going to call our last time out, and we're going to come up with something.
You got so many terrific weapons from Mr. Coach Tony Skinn. I'm not sure where they're going, but something tells me Mincy is going to have the basketball in his hands.
It's everything you would have hoped for in the back end of our triple header. Quick moment to let you know, tomorrow, final round coverage of the Farmers Insurance Open comes your way 1 p.m. Eastern on Golf Channel. Brooks Koepka back on tour, made the cut. He'll see action on Sunday. They're all trying to catch Justin Rose, who's running away with it to this point through 54 holes. Where do you stand on holding for the final shot, shooting with 5 or 6 seconds for maybe a second chance opportunity?
I go with the first available shot. That's what I do. We're on the road, get the first available shot. Play terrific defense on the back end, but you got to take the first available shot. Something tells me Corey Mincy is going to have the ball in his hands and going to make magic in here tonight.
Well, George Mason, 5 of their last 6 from the field. On the other side, St. Bonaventure has made just 1 of their last 6. Patriots inbound in front of their bench. No timeouts remaining for George Mason. St. Bonaventure with just 1. Tied up at 73, 17.8 seconds to go.
It's a good one.
Fat Hill with it. They're going to let the clock run down, it appears. The sieve cut down to 8. Long gets by Simmons, and they're going to call a foul as he was trying to go to the hole, but lost his footing as well.
Tough call. Tough call in that position. It looked like he stumbled just a little bit. To me, that's maybe, and also pushed off. That's a tough call.
Jahari Long to the line. Fouled by Simmons. Game is tied with 4.6 seconds remaining, and Long steps up and hits a big one.
Which is always the first one.
Malik Presley back into the lineup for George Mason. Long gets ready for his second.
The senior.
It's big time right there.
Yes, it is.
Mark Schmidt's calling for the timeout. He will use the final one to try to set something up for the Bonnies.
If you're Mark Schmidt, we go back to the well until the well is empty. And that's Mr. Frank Mitchell. Just an easy go screen. They can't stop it. Only thing you have to worry about is him at the foul. But he's been so good this game. He's been so good in the game. Have him duck in and go back to the well, Steve.
What do you say about George Mason? Down 14 at one point, to just hang around when things didn't look like they were going to go their way tonight.
I can't talk about it enough. Tools in the toolbox. Snow blowers, shovels, wrenches. I wish I would have had a snow blower the other day. As much as I was hurting, shoveling my snow. But they've done a terrific job staying in the game. Plus 10 on the rebounds. Great job by Mr. Tony Skinner.
4.6 seconds remaining. George Mason 75, St. Bonaventure 73. Both teams out of timeouts. And it appears you're going to see some pressure the full length of the floor by George Mason. Desante Bowen to inbound. Into Grahovic, back to Bowen.
Gotta go
across
fast.
the half-court stripe. In and out of the hands of Buddy Simmons. You saw it developing right in front of us. And they just couldn't hang on to the ball.
Tough play. Tough play, unforced. And I'm sure he wants that back.
1 second remaining, no timeouts. Mason with the ball and up 2.
Got a foul. As soon as possible.
And they're going to get the foul. Buddy Simmons holding Jahari Long. As Stash Sivka sent it down the proper place on the floor.
Sure.
To the basket they're shooting.
Sure, you see here, play developing and just maybe a little bit strong, or Buddy wasn't expecting it that soon. It's kind of tough pass. Tough pass and a tough place on the floor, Steve.
Jahari Long just hit 2 big free throws a moment ago. 2 more will close things out for St. Bonaventure in a game that they led for much of the way.
Other than Corey Mincy, this is the guy you wanted to line, the senior.
They're up 4, and what a remarkable comeback They now move to 20-2, does George Mason. Final thoughts on what we saw here. How about a 17-4 run for George Mason to finish it out?
Oh, I said it to you in the beginning. Yes, St. Bonaventure's playing terrific early on, but because George Mason has so many tools in their toolbox, something told me while the game is going on, come the second half, St. Bonaventure's going to run out of a little bit of steam, be a little bit fatigued, and George Mason's going to start to take over.
A wry smile by head coach Tony Skinn, who saw his team trail by 14 with 8:19 to go, but that strong finish outlasting a valiant effort by St. Bonaventure in the end. Final score, 77-73. George Mason comes out on top. Atlantic 10 basketball continues on USA Sports tomorrow with the doubleheader, tipping off with Rhode Island at Duquesne at noon Eastern. For Zendon, Hamilton, and the entire team, Steve Burkowski saying so long from Western New York.